I'm your commentator, Diego Cordero, here for this potentially championship deciding matchup. Again, it is between the top two teams in the league, so it's no surprise that this matchup has championship implications. Whoever wins today would effectively seal the title. If Stallion win today, it would secure them the title for sure. If Kaya win the matchup tonight, they wouldn't mathematically be secure of the title, but most likely and effectively they would seal the title. If a draw is the outcome of tonight's matchup, it favors Kaya slightly, but that would mean they would have to win next week. Here are the standings for more context. So as you can see, Stallion FC Laguna have played one more game than Kaya, which is why they are above them on the table, just about. But as I said before, if Kaya do win, then it favors them, as it will effectively give them the title due to their superior goal difference, heavily superior goal difference. The result earlier today saw Makati FC beat Capital One Solar Strikers 2-1, and that eliminated Capital One pretty much from the title race. So it's going to be between these two teams, Kaya FC Iloilo in their all-yellow jerseys, and Stallion are in their purple jerseys. Here's the lineup. Ina Palacios regains the number 1 spot despite the plenty minutes of Fontanilla. All of the stalwarts, as expected, are in this major showdown. Hailey Long will lead the backline as usual. It's another dynamic forward line for Kaya. Tolentine, Kadag, Cisneros, the league's top scorer, all featured today. For Stallion, on the other hand, here we see their starting 11. No surprise, remains largely unchanged from what we're usual to seeing this season. Livia McDaniel retains her spot after scoring last weekend against Makati FC. She also has the most clean sheets in this league so far. Chandler McDaniel also retains her spot and will lead the team today as the captain. And of course, we see the likes of Bella Pasion and Sierra Castles, who have also performed really well for Stallion this season. It will be Stallion FC Laguna kicking from right to left and Kaya kicking from left to right as we see kickoff. Again, as I've said, this matchup is effectively a championship matchup. While not labeled that way because of our double round robin format, the winner today would effectively take the championship. Kickoff, and the ball is with Kaya. Again, this is not the first time these two teams have met this season. They met about a month ago, and Stallion FC Laguna won that match. They won that match with a scoreline of 2-1. Goals that day came from Chandler McDaniel and Sierra Castles, while Kadag scored for Kaya, but it wasn't enough. And that win is probably the reason why Stallion retained the top spot up to this point. For Stallion, this is their last match of this season. Meanwhile, for Kaya, they still have one more next week, which is why a draw would probably favor the Iloilo-based squad over Stallion. Here's Cisneros, the league's top scorer with 12 goals, but she wasn't able to score in the reverse fixture. She'll be hoping for different fortunes today. Here's Tolentine, looking for support. There's an early cross. It will be gathered by Liv McDaniel. Again, Liv McDaniel scored last weekend. So despite the fact that she's a very good stopper and that she already has 7 clean sheets, which is the most in this league, she is also a goal scorer now in the 2025 PFF Women's League. Here's Kaya Hawkinson. Kayla McDaniel. Bella Pasion. Bella Pasion was actually awarded the Player of the Game award in the reverse fixture for her brilliant midfield performance. She'll be hoping to emulate that performance tonight. Possession bouncing between the two teams. No one has claimed it fully yet. Here's Hailey Long. Again, we see the high press from Stallion. They've been doing that all season, and they're not going to stop tonight. Here's Ina Palacios back in between the sticks. She was actually partially injured early on in the season, and that's why she didn't feature as much, but She has been chosen by Coach Yoshide for this major showdown. That's offside. Good highline there by Kaya. Again, the reversed fixture of this matchup saw Stallion score 2 quick goals in the first half, and that first half was very dominant from Stallion. Kaya, on the other hand, were very poor in that first half, and they cannot repeat that type of performance if they are to claim the title. That reverse fixture also saw a lot of yellow cards for both sides because it was a very heated game. The referee will be hoping that it's a bit more calm tonight. Here's Altiche up against Rhea Chan. It will be a battle that we'll see a lot of for sure. Early cross, and that's straight to Liv McDaniel. Hawkinson. And there we see the high press again of Kaya. Passion. Binigay kay Sir Don. Lemoran. Looking for Chandler McDaniel. Touch is heavy, so it's back with Kaya. And Ina Palacios takes no risks and just decides to clear. Here we see it's a physical battle between the two teams. That's a foul. Foul was by Rhea Chan, and that was on, I believe, number 19, Mendaño. Sierra Castle's doing well there to win a throw-in for her side, and Stallion FC Laguna are able to move up the pitch. Sierra Castle's is actually the second top scorer of Stallion at the moment. She has 5 goals. That is 1 behind the top scorer, Chandler McDaniel. So both of those players will probably be looking to add to their tally on an individual note after tonight's matchup. Here's Chandler McDaniel. Castles. Cleared by Kaya. A lot of 50-50 duels in this opening 4 minutes. Here's Hawkinson. Too much traffic, and it's back with Kaya. Kaya will try to start their own attack. It's given away though, and it's picked up by Lemoran. Here's Hawkinson. Castles drifting inside. Finding Chan. Chan finding Sir Don. Crossing opportunity here. Crossed in. And it drops to Chandler McDaniel, but she was unable to divert it towards the back of the net. The ball is still with Stallion. And the touch from Chandler McDaniel was misguided, so it's back with Ina Palacios. That's the first half chance for Stallion FC Laguna, and it came from their wing play. It was a cross by Malaya Serdon. A little warning there for Kaya. They just need to be careful of exposing themselves down the flanks because of the pace that Stallion have. Here's Kadag. Out wide. Looking for Altiche, but that's smart reading from Rhea Chan. Likewise by Kadag, but that pass is once again overhit. Kaylee McDaniel will go all the way back to Liv McDaniel, and she clears. Arietta going back to Haley Long. Haley Long's pass is meant for Tolentine, and it gets to Tolentine. Tolentine will use her pace. Early cross, looking for Cisneros, but it's cut out by Kaylee McDaniel. Promising there from Kaya through Tolentine. And Tolentine, if I also remember correctly, was one of the high performers of Kaya in the reverse fixture. So even though they did lose that match, Tolentine caused a lot of problems for Stallion. Here's Passion with some space. Has options and goes to the right. Here's Serdon up against the fullback. Serdon cutting inside. Still Serdon. Lemoran, she'll take the shot. It's mishit, and it's back with Kaya. But I believe that is the first shot, although not on target, and it comes from Stallion. Chan, cut out by Mendaño. Mendaño, of course, a graduate of the LaSalle program, and that's a heavy foul by the number 19 on Mendaño. And play will just stop here because of that foul. Here's a replay. An obvious foul. In truth, ball was nowhere in play. Mendaño is okay though. As I have mentioned, Mendaño is a graduate of the De La Salle University football program, and she makes up one out of many UAAP graduates who are currently stalwarts in the 2025 PFF Women's League. And it's nice to see that UAAP graduates are now translating in to the professional scene. Here's Malia Sordon. Sordon tussling with Altiche, and Sordon will get this back after a misplaced pass. Here's Chandler McDaniel, just goes through her legs. That was a dangerous moment for Stallion, but the team captain was unable to gather that in her stride, so it rolled straight to Ina Palacios. Fountain wins that aerial, but it goes out. Again, as I did mention earlier, this is, while not labeled a championship match and while not labeled a final, it is that effectively, because the winner today would effectively seal the title. If Stallion win, they are mathematically assured of the title, while if Kaya win, they would still need confirmation. If they draw, it favors Kaya because Kaya will still play next week, but Stallion will not play next week because this is their last matchup. That is because Stallion have had a game in hand for the past couple of weeks. Again, another thing that favors Kaya is actually the fact that they have a far superior goal difference, and given how tight this title race is, goal difference could come into play. Before a ball was kicked tonight, Kaya's goal difference is at plus 34, while Stallion's is at plus 19, so that's a big advantage. Another similarity between both of these teams, they've only both lost one match this season. Kaya lost their one match to Stallion in the reverse matchup. Meanwhile, Stallion lost their only match in this season to Capital One, which is why it's so even between these two teams. Here's Passion, unable to escape that pressure, so Kaya clear. Cisneros, the league's top scorer, she has 12. So she's leading the Golden Boot race. Here's Mendaño, has an option down to the left, uses it. Here's Altiche up against Rhea Chan. Altiche goes for the early cross, looking for Cisneros, but that's too close to Liv McDaniel. And with the height advantage that the Stallion defense have over Kaya's attack, you do imagine that any cross towards the box would have to be pinpoint. Here's Kayla McDaniel. He's played, I believe, all the matches for Stallion. And interestingly, despite the fact that she's a center back, Kayla McDaniel does have 4 goals this season. And I believe those are all from set pieces. Stallion FC Laguna pride themselves of the fact that they have a very aerially strong team, and that's why they score a lot of goals from set pieces. Hailey Long finding Kadag. Pass looking for Cisneros is intercepted by Mariel, but Cisneros picks it up, and here's Altiche up in behind. Early cross, and similar to earlier, it's caught by Liv McDaniel. It's going to take a lot more to beat a goalkeeper like Liv McDaniel. Liv McDaniel, ooh, unlike her, that's a poor pass. So the ball is back with Kaya. Here's Cisneros, combining with Tolentine. Just pass was a bit too heavy for the return to Tolentine, but Kaya still keep the ball. Early cross is met by Merrill. Arieta. Fontamillas. Very early cross. And it's a bit of a scramble here at the edge of the box. Back to Kaya. Looking for, I believe that was Arieta. Here's Cisneros with the shot. Goes way over, but that's the first shot of Kaya, and it's a warning sign to Stallion. So 12 minutes in, and Kaya get their first chance. And if they wanted it to fall to any player, it would have been Cisneros. Usually hits the target from that sort of range. Cisneros will be saying to herself that if she gets another type of chance like that, she has to at least test Liv McDaniel. Rhea Chan back in field to Hawkinson. Risky. Merrill bailing out Hawkinson. That no foul called by the referee. Or rather, a foul is called, but that wasn't on the collision. That was on the following collision on Arietta. So it's a free kick to Kaya. Here's the replay. This is the first collision. No foul here. The second collision here on Castañeda is what's called as the foul. Kaya will use this as an opportunity to send their tall players forward, and they will deliver this set piece. Ball will be sent in. Very heavy, but it sails over the goal. Just think Liv McDaniel for a split second there was making sure that that wasn't going to sail in. I will mark that down actually as a shot because it looked like that set piece was trying to catch out Liv McDaniel. Here's Castles down the left wing. As you do see in their picture there, it is Stefan Schrock on the sideline for Stallion, no longer Finn McDaniel. Finn McDaniel is transferring to another club, and we do wish him the best. Here's Tolentine. Opted not to cross. Forced back. That's good defending by Fountain. Tolentine will try again. Outside, goes for the cross. Nearly dropping to a Kaya player, but it's cleared by Bella Pasion. That's good tracking back from the midfielder, and that will be gathered by Liv McDaniel. Rhea Chan, Kayla McDaniel, looking for Chandler McDaniel. The flick on is mishit, so it's back with Kaya. Ball just bouncing between the two teams, bit wild. In truth, here's Castañeda to finally take it down. Oh, and Haley Long with the slip, so it's back with Stallion. Here's Chandler McDaniel beating one defender, asking for the return. Serdon not giving it to her. Serdon going for the shot. Caught by Ina Palacios. That's the first shot on target this game, and it comes from Malia Serdon of Stallion. That's routine though for Ina Palacios, the stalwart goalkeeper of Kaya. Here's Altiche. Back and forth action here. Altiche will go for the cross, looking for Cisneros, but yet again, it's a bit too close to Liv McDaniel, and if they are going to find Cisneros in the penalty box, they're going to need to start being more precise crosses. Promising nonetheless though for Kaya that they're getting down the flanks. Serdon. Lemoran. Going for the switch. Finding it. Here's Sierra Castles. 2 against 1. Here's Tolentine. Tracking back. And that gives Stallion FC Laguna a corner. And I did mention that if you're going to look at set pieces, Stallion are arguably the strongest team in the league in that regard, and they are sending up, as you see here in your video, Kayla McDaniel from center back. Kayla McDaniel, the usual target from these corners, mula kay Chandler McDaniel. Crossed in. It's met by Haley Long. That will be another corner. Chandler McDaniel will try again. Crossed in once again. This is a bit short and it's cut out by Tolentine. Chandler McDaniel will go for it a third time, and that's a very wild hit. So it's a throw into Kaya. So Kaya FC passed their first set piece test. They had 2 clearances there. Haley Long will take this throw in. It's cut out by Hawkinson, and it's back with Kadag. Referee getting in the way there. Here's Passion. Good footwork, finding Hawkinson, who finds Castles. It's very tight in the midfield, and Stallion's attack amounts to nothing. It's back with Kaya. Here's Altiche, tracked by Rhea Chan. She keeps possession though. Looking for Cisneros in behind. Kayla McDaniel will win that race though and win the foul in the process. That's good play from Kayla McDaniel. Liv McDaniel will take this free kick. We see a lot of Philippine women's national team standouts on the field at the moment. They are just coming fresh off a camp together, a camp which accumulated in a friendly against Chinese Taipei. They did lose that friendly, but they did all play together, the likes of Long and the McDaniels and Passion and Hawkinson. And they'll be back in action later this month in Cambodia, taking on Saudi Arabia, Cambodia, and Hong Kong for Asian Cup qualification. So this match is ridden with quality from the national team. And it would be no surprise if that camp features a lot of the players on the pitch tonight. And that's just how good these two teams are, that they have so many national team standouts on both sides. Against each other now, they'll be on the same team again quite soon. Again, we are here at the MOA Field of Dreams. It's the 2025 PFF Women's League. It is the second to the last match day, but for those of you who want to catch the final match day also at this venue, you can watch the game here on the Facebook page or on Pilipinas Live. And if you want to watch in person, you can simply go here and buy the tickets on venue. Again, we'd like to thank the PFF and the NCRFA for making this possible. Again, this match is the accumulation of the season we've had, because whoever wins tonight will effectively seal the deal. And both of these teams, when the season started, wanted to win the title, but only one of them can do so. Looked like a foul throw there by Fountain, but nothing was called. Ball returns to Kaya anyway. First 20 minutes has been quite even so far. No huge chance for either side, but they've had smaller chances to take the lead. It hasn't been taken though. Here's Tolentine down the right, in behind. Will she go for the early cross? She does. Looking for, I believe that was Mendaño who was closest, but that's a good defensive header by Rhea Chan. Moment of danger there for Stallion. They're usually not as open as that, but out of nowhere, Tolentine just got in behind and delivered a very dangerous cross, which was nearly able to find its target in Mendaño, who advanced from midfield. Throw in mula kay Fontamillas, blocked by Fountain, or Castles rather. Again, there you see Stefan Schrock on the sideline for Stallion. Hawkinson clears. And going into this matchup, it was Stallion who had the slightly better form. They did come off a 1-0 victory over Makati last week, and the goal came from Liv McDaniel. Meanwhile, Kaya, on the other hand, they didn't win last week against Capital One. They actually drew that match 1-1, courtesy of a very, very late Joyce Onrubia equalizer. That equalizer though from Onrubia is very vital because it kept Kaya in contention for the title. Fontamillas looking for a forward, but it's cut out by Bella Pasion. Tolentine. Fontamillas going for the switch. Finds Castaneda just about. cut out by Lemeran, and Stallion will start an attack. Shannon McDaniel uses Serdon, blocked by Kaya, but it's still with Serdon. And she tried to play that through to Chandler McDaniel, but that's an overhit pass, so it's back with Ina Palacios. Again, Ina Palacios, a very, very familiar figure in women's football here in the country. Another one of the UAAP graduates in this league, and it's really nice to see that she has made it in the professional scene, and not just in the professional scene but also in the international scene. Of course, Palacios has had many caps, important caps at that, for the Philippines. Castles looking for Chandler McDaniel. She'll get to this, or so I thought, but Hailey Long with smart positioning just allows Ina Palacios to get to that before Chandler McDaniel. 3 national team players there in that play. Tolentine touches slightly loose, so it's back with Stallion. Here's Pasion. Chandler McDaniel cut out by Hailey Long. Lemeran looking for McDaniel, but it's cut out once again by Kaya. So a lot of half chances here for both teams, but they are unable to make the final and most crucial pass. Tolentine is in behind here asking for the pass. It's not being played, and will go out for, or will stay in rather, according to the linesman. Here's Tolentine. Gadag offering the overlap. Back heel from Tolentine finds Gadag. Chance maybe here for Kaya. Cleared by Kaylee McDaniel. That's a crucial touch. Here's Tolentine, and that's stolen by Sierra Castles, who looks for Serdon. Stallion have numbers here. It's 2 against 3. Serdon will use her pace. Good defending by Hailey Long. Physical defending by Hailey Long, and she wins that duel. That's veteran defending by the team captain. Again, Hailey Long, so reliable in those situations. Not the fastest player on the field, but because of her experience and positioning, makes up for that with game intelligence, like we saw there. Here's Hawkinson looking for a player in the final third, but there's no one on the end of that lob pass. It's back with Hailey Long. 25 minutes into this championship decider. No goal yet. And I believe at this point in the reverse fixture, Stallion had already taken the lead, so Kaya would be happy that there's no repeat of that. Cisneros will go for the cross, looking for Mendaño. Once again, it's headed out by the Stallion center backs. Gadag. Binigay kay Mendaño, looking for the 1-2 but unable to find it, and it's cleared for a Kaya throw-in. It's a very, very 50-50 duel matchup between these two teams. Would say neither side are able or have been able to stamp their authority on the game so far. It's no surprise though, given the quality of these two teams. Chance for Kaya to cross once again. Mendaño looking for Cisneros. It will bounce to Cisneros, but it's cleared by Stallion. They survive that chance. Still with Kaya, and eventually cleared properly. Chance there for Cisneros to add to her top goal scorer tally, but good defending by Mariel. Advantage played here by the referee. Here's Altiche out wide. Still Altiche going backwards. Here's Arieta. Mendaño. Still with Mendaño. Pinasa kay Fontamillas. Fontamillas will go for the cross. That's very high and won by Merrill. Tolentine. Tolentine too, or looking for Mendaño, but the pass was too weak. Here's Castañeda. Hailey Long looking for the left winger in Altiche. That's a very good switch. So it's with Altiche now. Altiche has a player with her, Cuenco. Back to Altiche and back again to Hailey Long. Hailey Long stepping forward. Castañeda. Cisneros. Gadag. No foul there called by the referee. Tolentine. Chance maybe here for Kaya. The pass was looking for Altiche, but it's too close to Liv McDaniel, so it's back to Stallion. Multiple collisions there from Cisneros, but it wasn't called by the referee, to the dismay of the Kaya bench. Here's Lemoran. Hawkinson. This pass is looking for Sardon. It will roll out for a goal kick, though. So, just under 30 minutes, and it's still 0-0. No surprise given the close quality and the even talent on both sides. Balacua, Fontamillas, binalik kay Balacua, back to Palacios. And Kaya are trying to work it to their final third, but it's cut out by Kaylee McDaniel. Offside called by the linesman. Not for the first time. It's a good high line held by Kaya's back four. Offside trap has been effective on a couple of occasions now. Here's Altiche. Guarded closely by Rhea Chancho. She has to go backwards. Haley Long going infield. Cisneros up against Merrill. Mendaño looking for Cisneros once again, but there's a foul in there, so the referee gives a free kick to Kaya. I believe Cisneros had her shirt pulled by a defender, and that's why the referee spotted a free kick. So there's a free kick to Kaya. Slightly far out, but it's a chance nonetheless to send their tall center backs forward or even go for a shot. It is quite direct from the middle. Still no yellow cards between the two teams in the reverse fixture. We did see quite a number of yellow cards, so we'll be hoping that the referee doesn't have to brandish as many this time. Set piece for Kaya to be taken by Fontamillas. Fontamillas going for, I think that was a shot on target, but now big collision there from Liv McDaniel and a Kaya player. Not too sure what happened there. Here's a replay. Liv McDaniel was just feeling that there's a player too close to her, and there is a foul called against the Kaya player. So ball will stay with Stallion. Not too sure if it was a foul or if the referee just allows play to continue. It's looking like it's actually a free kick, so the foul was called against the Kaya player. Despite the confusion from the Kaya bench. Tolentine, Cisneros, looking for Cisneros rather, but that's good pace by Jenna Merrill. Jenna Merrill, not the tallest of center backs, but that might actually help her today because she's up against a striker like Cisneros who will do a lot of running. So it's actually a good center back pairing from Stallion, that they have one more mobile center back in Jenna Merrill and one physically imposing center back in Kaylee McDaniel. It's a balanced duo. Haley Long will take this throw in, and no pun intended, she'll go for a long throw in. The Kaya attackers have flooded the 6-yard box of Liv McDaniel. It will be sent in. Switch Cisneros goes for the bicycle kick, but that's straight to Liv McDaniel. Impressive effort though by the Kaya striker. Liv McDaniel seeing the funny side of that. Very ambitious from the league's top scorer, but if you are the league's top scorer, you might as well, with your confidence, try things that other people wouldn't see. Looked like handball there, but it's not called by the referee. Here's Mendaño, has options. for Cisneros, but unable to defend her. It's one back though. Cisneros! What a block by Jenna Merrill. It's going to be a corner. For a split second there, I just thought Cisneros was through on goal. But Jenna Merrill making up the distance really quickly and putting in a crucial slide tackle. This is Kaya's first corner of the matchup. Again, there I was mentioning a few moments ago that it would help Stallion that they have a very mobile center back in Jenna Merrill, and it helped them there. First to react, bailing out Kaya McDaniel for losing possession there. To be crossed in. It's a low cross, and that's cleared easily by Kayla McDaniel. Kaya will be hoping for better deliveries next time. One back by Passion. Will they launch their own counterattack? Looking for Chandler McDaniel, but that pass is too wayward. So it's back with Kaya. Fountain. Castles. Heavy touch, and it's back with Castañeda. Haley Long slowing the game down, just allowing her team to position themselves high up the pitch. Here's Fontamillas. Going for the early cross, but it's once again cut out by Kayla McDaniel and out for a throw-in. Kaya, can they create a chance from this position? Good defending by Sierra Castles. Kadag, combining with Fontamillas. Good defense positioning by Stallion. Kaya, will they work across though? Here's Fontamillas with the early cross. Met by Cisneros, but the header is very wide. Promising sign yet again though for Kaya. And they are starting to find Cisneros and other players in the penalty box. Again, Liv McDaniel here in your picture. She did score last weekend against Makati FC. A very crucial goal that kept Stallion ahead in the title race just about. Of course, it's no surprise given Liv McDaniel's ability to play with the ball in her feet. You do remember that she did score a crucial penalty in that famous penalty shootout against Chinese Taipei. Stallion maybe in behind here. The pass looking for Serdon is overhit, so Haley Long will calmly shield that back to her goalkeeper. Just notice that Malia Serdon has switched flanks for the time being. That is something that Stallion do tend to do with their forward line. It's back with Ina Palacios. Duel between Merrill and Cisneros. No foul called by the referee. Mendaño looking for Tolentine. Tolentine is in behind, but the linesman has put his flag up, so there is an offside call. So no, had that gone in, it wouldn't have counted. But it's another dangerous moment for Kaya. Actually, not sure if it was Tolentine who was flagged offside or Mendaño, but it's offside nonetheless. Again, similar to the first matchup between these two teams about a month ago, it is Tolentine who's causing a lot of problems down her side. She didn't score in that game, but she caused a lot of defensive interactions with the Stallion backline, and game has just been stopped here for a moment as the referees will clarify something. And it's not in your picture here, but a yellow card has been brandished to a member of the Stallion bench. Not too sure who it's been given to, so we'll get confirmation of that. But the first yellow card of tonight's game goes to a member of the Stallion coaching staff. Again, we'll try to confirm who it went to. Fountain looking for Lemoran, but it's mishit, so it's back with Kaya again. Here's Cisneros out wide this time. Merrill with the slip, and fortunately for the Stallion center back, it didn't cost her there. Liv McDaniel with the ball, just slowing down the game. Still a draw between these two teams. Again, a draw. If it reaches the full-time score with a draw, it will favor Kaya slightly, because Stallion would still be ahead in that regard, but Kaya still have a game to take the lead back next week, while Stallion, this is their last game of the season. So if you're Stallion FC Laguna, the message is simple. It's win this matchup to win the title. For Kaya, the message would be the same, but they can afford to draw this match. So that's the difference between the two teams right now, is that Kaya can tie this game and still win the title. But if Stallion tie this game, they'll need to rely on a favor next weekend from Makati when they play Kaya. So there's a lot of possibilities that depend on the outcome of tonight's match. Sir Don will get on the end of this. Chance for a cross maybe. Sir Don down the right, crossed in, and it's cut out by Haley Long and cleared eventually by Castañeda. Hawkinson will go for the shot, and this goes wide, but a lot of space afforded to Hawkinson there, and Ina Palacios just letting her midfield know not to let that happen again. And Stallion are a team that pride themselves off taking shots from distance. They've scored many goals that way this season, so they'll continue that tonight. Here's Cisneros drifting out wide, dragging Jenna Merrill. Going for the early switch, looking for Mendaño. Good defending there by both Rhea Chan and Lemoran. Sir Don winning her duel. Looking for Chandler McDaniel, but that's cut out by Balakua. Team captain Chandler McDaniel still yet to have a clear-cut opportunity. Unlike the first time these two teams played, she had scored early on. This time, the Kaya center back's doing a better job defensively against her. Although a player like Chandler McDaniel, you do say that she can just score from nothing. Here's Pasion, the midfielder, now in behind. Pasion up against Castañeda. Lemoran is tracked by Mendaño, and no foul call by the referee. So Kaya will try to start their own counter-attack. Hawkinson picks up the ball and gives it back to Kaylee McDaniel. Kaylee McDaniel looking for her fullback. Will this be overhit? It will be. So, ball back to Kaya. Just 5 minutes now until the halftime break plus stoppage time. I do think that neither side really will be positive or fully positive going into the halftime break, as both of these teams want to win, quite simply. And neither have really taken full control of this first half, which is why I say neither side would probably be happy going into the halftime break. Tolentine misjudged there by Fountain, so it's a free. Linesman there changing his decision, so it's a throw-in to Kaya, which goes against his initial call. So Stallion will surrender possession once again. Kadag, Fontamillas, early cross is cut out yet again by Kaylee McDaniel. Kaylee McDaniel unchallenged there, so no surprise she wins that duel. Oh, Mendaño will pick this up. Mendaño up against Merrill. That's an excellent timed sliding tackle from Merrill. Not for the first time already in this first half. She's bailed out her team there with a sliding challenge. Good spell from Kaya these last few moments. Let's see if they can make it count towards anything in the scoreline. Here's Mendaño, causing a lot of problems for Stallion. Mendaño looking for Cisneros, cut out yet again by Jenna Merrill. Here's Tolentine. Step over, going for the cross, but that's straight to Liv McDaniel. Good footwork there by Tolentine against Fountain. Liv McDaniel going long, looking for it forwards. It will drop to Lemoran. Good tracking though by Kaya's midfield. This ball is sent in behind and it's too close to Liv McDaniel. So neither side still able to create a goal scoring opportunity. Here's Serdon up against Cuenco. Serdon going down the outside, beats Cuenco. Chance for a cross, looking for Chandler McDaniel. Good defending in the end by Kaya's backline. They bail out Cuenco there, who got beaten by Serdon. Here's Rhea Chan cutting back inside. Pasion, the pass was a bit heavy for Pasion, so it's back to Kaya. Cisneros passes it to Castañeda, but it's retrieved by Bella Pasion. That's good tracking by the number 14. Serdon unguarded for a moment there. Game has just, it's been a quite slow first half, so neither side have been able to speed things up to their liking. Here's Castles. Castles cutting inside, looking for a switch, but it's cut out by Mendaño. Here's Lemoran, Hawkinson, Pasion. Just under 30 seconds left before we get confirmation of additional time. Hearing there's going to be 3 minutes of additional time before the halftime intervention. So it's looking increasingly likely that it's going to be 0-0 at halftime. Very different to what happened when these teams first played each other in the first round. In the first round, Stallion went into the halftime break 2 goals ahead. So we've not seen anything like that tonight. It's been much more even in the first half between these two championship contenders. Mendaño, Altiche going infield, binigay kay Kadag, looking for Castañeda, and Kaya creates something here. Here's Tolentine, throw in to Kaya. Tolentine has been one of the dangerous players in this first half, so you do say if there is to be a goal in this matchup, one of the likelier scorers or creators of that chance would be Tolentine. Fontamillas goes for the cross, met by Cisneros, is given back to Mendaño. She was not able to create contact, so no shot technically there, but it was a chance. Kadag with the follow-up, but that's way over. Dangerous moments there from Kaya. The biggest chance there was to Mendaño, but she was unable to make contact on a loose ball. And then the follow-up long shot by Kadag was way over. If you do remember correctly though, it was Kadag who scored a long shot when these teams played each other in the first round. So it looked like she tried to emulate that there, but the effort not as clinical this time. Just under a minute now, or over a minute before the halftime break. It's looking like it's going to be 0-0 between these two teams. Neither coaching staff would probably be happy with that scoreline. Again, both of these teams to win the title need to win this game. if it's a draw, it will go down to next week. Cisneros, tracked back by Lemoran. It's with Tolentine now. And the clearance from Lemoran. Now there's actually some confusion here because a lot of the Stallion players thought it was their ball, but that is not the case. So it's with Kaya still. Kadag. Fontamilla's cross. And once again, it's Kelly McDaniel who wins the aerial duel. She's been doing that the entire first half. And the 3 minutes are up, so the referee will blow the whistle any moment now. And there you have it. It's halftime between Stallion FC Laguna and Kaya FC Iloilo, and it's even at 0-0. Neither side able to take the lead in this championship match of between the two teams. There were chances to both teams, but neither side have been clinical enough in this first 45. And as I said, neither side would probably be happy to go into the halftime break even, because both of these teams really need to win to assure themselves of a championship. Again, different to what we saw in the first round, because Stallion were already 2-0 up at this point in the first round. Here are the biggest chances of this matchup. A lot of cross-claiming from Liv McDaniel. Stallion have had half chances but no clear-cut chances. A lot of last-ditch defending between the two teams, and a lot of physicality also on show tonight. We also did see one yellow card brandished to a member of the Stallion bench. There was a bicycle kick attempt there by Cisneros. But again, no real test yet for Liv McDaniel, and no real test yet either for Ina Palacios. So both teams will be hoping to see more productive second halves going forward. Again, I'm your commentator, Diego Coder. Do stay tuned for the second half, as we see the stats here from the first half. Here we see Kaya have had a lot more shots than Stallion, and 6 of those have been on target compared to Stallion's 1. But as I said, no real test yet for Liv McDaniel. Kaya have had 1 corner, meanwhile Stallion have had 2. And as I did mention, a yellow card was shown to a member of the Stallion team, although we will get confirmation as to who it was given to. Again, that's the first half, 0-0. Do stay tuned because we'll be back soon. Again, I'm your commentator, Diego Codera, for this evening.
About Filipinas Live, I can watch me. Filipinas Live lets me watch in different angles. No. I'm referring to the multi-cam feature. It allows me to chat with the other viewers too, which means I can read your comments too. Come on, guys. That's what I'm talking about. And it's not just games, there's original content too. And that is Filipinas Love. Filipinas Live.
Filipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
This season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Love about Filipinas Live? I can watch me. Filipinas Live lets me watch in different angles. No. I'm referring to the multi-cam feature. It allows me to chat with the other viewers too, which means I can read your comments too. Come on, guys. That's what I'm talking about. And it's not just games, there's original content too. And that is Filipinas Love. Filipinas Live.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP. All in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
This season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
About Filipinas Live? I can watch me. Filipinas Live lets me watch in different angles. No. I'm referring to the multicam feature. It allows me to chat with the other viewers too, which means I can read your comments too. Come on, guys. That's what I'm talking about. And it's not just games, there's original content too. And that is Filipinas Love. Filipinas Live.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Love about Filipinas Live? I can watch me. Filipinas Live lets me watch in different angles. No. I'm referring to the multicam feature. It allows me to chat with the other viewers too, which means I can read your comments too. Come on, guys. That's what I'm talking about. And it's not just games, there's original content too. And that is Filipinas Love. Filipinas Live.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Iloilo. It is 0-0 after the first 45 minutes. Chances to both sides came, but neither of them were able to be clinical enough to take any of them. Again, I'm your commentator, Diego Cordero, for this evening in this effectively championship matchup. Now, again, for those of you who are not aware, a win from Stallion would secure them the championship. A win for Kaya would effectively do the same. But if the match is tied, it would favor Kaya just about slightly, because this is Stallion's last game in this league, but for Kaya, they'll still play next week. So if it's a draw, Stallion would stay ahead on the table, but Kaya would still have a chance to take over the lead in their game next weekend. Again, the game's next weekend. There's only one game, and it's Kaya versus Makati. Whatever happens, it is Stallion's last game tonight. So a draw, while not ideal for Kaya, it would be a result that would still see them able to get the championship, but then they would have to win next week. And if it's a draw, then Stallion would need to rely on Makati FC to not lose next week to Kaya. So a lot of possibilities tonight, and it all depends on what happens here in the second half. It's looking like we're going to see no substitutions. We'll just get confirmation of that shortly. Yeah, and it looks like there'll be no substitutions. So it's as we were in the first half, and the ball will return to Stallion for kickoff. Again, in the reverse matchup in the first round, it was a 2-1 win for Stallion. The goals that night came from Shander McDaniel, Sierra Casos, and the goal from Kaya came from Kadag. At that point, in the second half, Stallion were already 2-0 up. Different story tonight. Very even, and it's still 0-0 between the two teams. Serdon still on the right wing, cutting inside, tackled by Castañeda. Here's Hawkinson. Lemoran looking for Castles, but the pass is too close to Fontamillas. And this is our second matchup this evening. The first matchup at 5 p.m. earlier was between Makati FC and Capital One Solar Strikers. That game ended 2-1 in favor of Makati FC. Goals came from Kikuntod, Yumanda, and Laika Teves for Capital One Solar Strikers. Capital One actually scored first, so it was a comeback victory for Makati. And that actually eliminated Capital One Solar Strikers fully from the title race, as before that game they were still just about in it. Here's Liv McDaniel. Again, scored a goal last week from a free kick, Liv McDaniel. I'm sure she'd love to do that again, but it is quite unlikely for goalkeepers to score 2 in a row. Here's Altiche. Early cross, looking for a player. Chance nearly there for Tolentine, but unable to make contact with the cross. And it's back with Stallion. Fountain to Lemoran. Lemoran with Eldrag. Hawkinson doing the same. Good footwork. Here's Pashon. Chan driving infield, finding or nearly finding Serdon, but the pass was just behind the winger, so the ball will return to Kaya. See a lot of familiar faces there behind Cuenco taking the throw in. Shout out to Christian Schaffner and shout out to Ate Pam, who are in picture there. Here's Haley Long. That's going to be a throw into Stallion. Very even between these two teams so far. The only difference, really, is that one team has a yellow card and the other one doesn't. Because other than that, it's been very square between both sides. Mendaño looking for the switch to Tolentine. This will be gathered though by Fountain. And Fountain takes no risks, just clears it. And when you're up against Tolentine, it's not the worst thing to do. Tolentine has been troubling Stallion's defense for the entire first half. And she did that also in the reverse fixture. So they have definitely marked Tolentine as one of Kaya's dangerous threats going forward. Here's Fontamillas. Goes backwards to Kadag. Kadag back to Fontamillas. Early cross. Met by Pasion and the shot. The volley came from Mendaño. And Mendaño actually, after that, out of your screen, was asking for handball, but it was not called by the referee. First effort there in the second half, and it went Kaya's way. Here's Hawkinson. Passes slightly behind Castles, and it's given away back to Kaya. Fontamillas. Binigay kay Tolentine. Tolentine will go cut inside. Good defending by Fountain. Back to Fontamillas. Fontamillas with the cross. And it hits the roof of the net. That's no problem for Liv McDaniel. But she's letting her defense know not to let that happen again. If you're Stallion FC Laguna, you don't really want to draw this game. You want to win this game, because if you draw this game, you can still win the title, but it wouldn't be under your control anymore. It will be dependent on getting a favorable result next week. Because, as I mentioned before, this is Stallion's last game. But for Kaya, they have a game next week. Which is why a draw favors Kaya more. That is assuming, though, that Kaya would win their matchup next weekend. Because if they don't, then a draw wouldn't help them anyway. Here's Cisneros. The ball nearly falling to her. It does, but away from the penalty box this time. Here's Arieta. Going for cross. Here's Mendaño in behind. Good defending by Kayla McDaniel. Mendaño for a split second through on goal. And that's very good positioning from Mendaño, the midfielder, just ghosting in between the defenders and finding a pocket of space and nearly pulling the trigger. But again, good defending by Kayla McDaniel, and made even better by the fact that a corner wasn't given away. It's actually a goal kick. So that's very good defending by the number 6. Liv McDaniel opting to go long, looking for her sister. Looked like a high boot there, but it's not given by the referee. Haley Long going out wide. Cut out by Rhea Chan. Oh, the pass is poor from Kayla McDaniel, and Kaya have numbers here. Here's Mendaño. Goes left. Altiche. First time cross. Good header out by Cisneros. She's been doing that all evening against Cisneros. Rather, that was Merrill with the header, not Cisneros. And do have to say the league's top scorer has been guarded well by both Kayla McDaniel and Jenna Merrill. Here's Hawkinson. Serdon looking for Chan, but the pass is wayward, so it's back with Kaya. Spells of possession here for the Iloilo based squad, and they will like that, but it won't count without a goal. So they need to score sooner rather than later. Foul there called against Serdon on Mendaño, so it's a set piece to Kaya. Kayla McDaniel actually contesting the fact that that ball went out even before that play. Of course, we play to the referee's whistle. Clear foul. In truth, we even see a fan there pointing that out. This will be delivered in by, I believe this is Cuenco. Crossed in, punched by Liv McDaniel, and it will be a corner to Kaya FC Iloilo. This is the first corner of the second half, and it comes after 7 minutes of play. It was Mendaño rather who put in that cross, not Cuenco. And Mendaño will go to the other side to take his corner kick. Crossed in by Mendaño. Looking for Haley Long. She gets there, but the header is not threatening at all, and the referee will actually stop play here as there are 2 players down. Here's a replay of that. Haley Long was up there, and she got contact to it, but it was very far away from going towards the back of the net. Ball will stay with Stallion after that. Again, Stallion FC Laguna have the best defense in the whole league. They've only conceded twice throughout the whole season. Kaya, on the other hand, have a similar record. They have the second best defense in the league, and they've conceded 4 times from the entire season. Going forward, though, it's Kaya who have scored a lot more than Stallion, which is why the goal difference of Kaya is far more superior than the goal difference of Stallion. And if it does go down to goal difference, then you do favor Kaya in that regard. Again, as I mentioned, that it's worth noting that goal difference, there is a scenario in this league where goal difference is the tiebreaker. So if Kaya win today and don't win next week, then it would be quite even, and in that scenario, goal difference would be the league decider. Foul there by Sardon on Haley Long. That's smart play from Haley Long, just winning a foul, using her body to gain the free kick. Haley Long going across to the other center back, Balakua. Going to Kadag. Looking for Tolentine, but again, pass is wayward. So it's back once again with Stallion. Here's Castles driving inside. Strong challenge by Castañeda. Here's Mendaño looking for Tolentine. Will this be overhit? Tolentine will get there in the end, just about. Here's Tolentine taking on Fountain. Opts to go backwards for now. Fontamillas has time to cross, and it falls to Kayla McDaniel, so it's good defending once again by the center back. Stallion tried to launch their own attack. This ball in behind is too overhit, so it's back to Kaya. Neither side have been able to take the lead so far. That's again completely different to what we saw in the reverse fixture. Again, at this point, Stallion were already 2-0 up when the teams played each other last time. Here's Chandler McDaniel. Goes for the long shot. It's blocked at its source. Here's Castles taking on Fontamillas. Going outside. Looking for the cross. Met by Haley Long. Kaya will go the other way. Here's Mendaño. Slowing it down, waiting for Tolentine. Back to Mendaño. Looking for Arieta, who went ahead of the team. This cross is mishit, so it'll be out for a goal kick. Or corner rather. It's going to be a corner to Kaya, not a goal kick. So another chance for Kaya to flood the penalty box. Again, if you do remember, the last corner kick saw Haley Long getting on the end of things, but the header was off target. She'll try to divert it towards goal this time. Mendaño will once again take the set piece. 10 minutes, or just over 10 minutes now in the second half. Still 0-0. And if it ends this way, it will go down to next week as to see who will be the champions of this league. Mendaño swings it in. Looking for Haley Long once again, but it's met by a Stallion defensive header this time. Haley Long, it's looking like she'll take this throw in and send it into the penalty box. In towards the penalty area, but it's well defended once again by Stallion. The ball is still with Kaya though. Kadag. Backwards to Cuenco. And backwards once again to Balakua. In terms of possession in the second half, it's been Kaya who've had more possession, but It's not counted towards anything just yet. Here's Hawkinson. Finds Lemoran. Good first touch by Lemoran. Going for a pass in behind, looking for Chandler McDaniel, but it's too close to Balacoa, and it's back with Kaya. And Ina Palacios has, I believe, 4 clean sheets in this league. How she'd love to keep another one tonight. Ball back with Stallion. Here's Chan infield. Looking for the big switch, and it would fall actually to Sierra Castle, so it's a good pass. But the first touch of Castle just let her down there, and Fontamillas was able to get a toe into it. Lemoran. Castles. Going for the pass inside. It eventually falls to Pasion, and she goes backwards to Hawkinson. That pass was looking for Serdon, but it's cut out by Cuenco, who also ran it out of play, so it's back to Rhea Chan. Kaylee McDaniel goes long this time, looking for Chandler McDaniel in behind, and she'll think she'll get to this. She does get to it. No offside called by the referee. Up against the corner flag. And Chandler McDaniel wins a throw-in. Again, Chandler McDaniel is the team's top scorer. She has 6 goals to her name. One of them came in the reverse matchup between these two teams. And she would love to get another tonight. But so far, she hasn't had any major chances. Again, she is the type of player who can just out of nowhere create something out of nothing. So Kaya will have to continue to be wary of her. And the same could be said in truth to Cisneros. She's had a couple chances, but none of them have been clear-cut or as clear-cut as we're used to seeing her take. Again, she is the league's top scorer, so do have to say if someone's going to score for Kaya, she is probably the likely candidate. Here's Stallion though, winning back the ball high up the pitch. Hawkinson returns it to Castles. Taking on her defender. Castles going for the shot. What a save by Ina Palacios. Castles didn't seem to have much options there, but she just created a very small amount of space and went for the near post left-footed shot. Here we see the replay. Goes outside of her defender. Shot was on target. So it's a very good save by Ina Palacios to keep the score level. And it's going to be a corner for Stallion. Just a warning sign there for Kaya that they cannot take any of the Stallion attackers lightly because they have the quality to do stuff like that. And Palacios did well there to bail out her defense. In by Chandler McDaniel. It's met by Kayla McDaniel! Goal line scramble! No goal! After all of that, somehow no goal. We need to get a replay of that because I do not know for sure what happened. And there's a foul here also. There's a yellow card. Yellow card to Serdon. So that's Stallion's second yellow card. But we need the replay of this goal mouth scramble. No one clearing it for Kaya and Kayla McDaniel. What a save by Palacios to tip it onto the crossbar. And the follow-up was really messy in the end. Kayla McDaniel's first attempt hit the post. Hawkinson missed the second attempt. And somehow it ended up in the grasp of Ina Palacios. And after all of that, there was a yellow card somewhere. I believe it was to Serdon. But we'll get confirmation of that later. And out of your picture also, we are going to see substitutions coming on in a moment. Mendaño, heavy touch. Back with Stallion. Stallion just waking up these past couple of moments. Here's Pasion. Forward from midfield, taking on Hailey Long. Teammates usually in the national team. Opponents tonight. And Hailey Long wins that duel. Kayla McDaniel there will be really thinking that she could have taken the lead for Stallion in that instance. And I did mention she does usually score from set pieces. She nearly did it again there a couple minutes ago.
Substitution for Kaya FC Iloilo, player number 28, Carmela Altica, replacement player number 18.
And here we see the first substitution of this matchup. Carmela Altiche off for Megan Alforque. Coach Yoshida of Kaya making his first tactical tweak with that substitution. Let's see if it pays off. Castañeda up against Hawkinson. Good pass there to Alforque, but the pass from Alforque on the other hand went to a Stallion player. Here's Lemoran. Good strength by Lemoran, looking for Chandler McDaniel, who's through on goal. Chandler McDaniel around the goalkeeper, and it's 1-0 to Stallion FC Laguna. They take the lead in the second half, and like they did in the first fixture, it's through the team captain, Chandler McDaniel, in the 63rd minute. Gives Stallion FC Laguna an almighty crucial lead. And it's such a composed finish there by Chandler McDaniel. She saw Ina Palacios rushing out, and she just so smartly takes a touch around the goalkeeper. And there you have it. Stallion FC Laguna have one hand on the 2025 PFF Women's League title. Of course, it was Chandler McDaniel, the team captain, leading by example. And as I was saying earlier, she hasn't been that notable tonight. But there you have it, out of nowhere. She scores an almighty goal for Stallion. As things stand, Stallion FC Laguna will be your 2025 PFF Women's League champions. Now it's on Kaya to respond. Again, if Kaya respond with a goal and it ends as a tie, that's still a good result for them. Chandler McDaniel threw on goal nearly again there, but it's read better this time by Hailey Long. Oh, and it's misread by Stallion. Here's Cisneros now. Cisneros going for the cutback. Good defending by Stallion. It was Pashon with the clearance in the end. No foul there. Oh, there is a foul eventually called there for Kaya. Past few moments have been very tense. From minute 1 to 60, we've seen a very even matchup. And then all of a sudden, at minute 63, Stallion taking control of this game. A moment of deja vu, in truth. As I said, it was Chandler McDaniel who scored the first goal when these teams played each other the first time, to make it 1-0 also that night. And the reason why I say deja vu is because she scored a very similar type of goal from a similar position, in the similar goal, upon the similar end on this pitch. Which is why I say it looked like a moment of deja vu. Can Kaya create something though to respond? Kadag's shot was blocked at source, and Kayla McDaniel clears. Should Stallion hold on for 30 minutes or more, they are going to be this league's champions. Here's Kadag, creating space. Kadag! What a save by Liv McDaniel. Kadag also scored when these teams played each other last time from a long shot too. But this time it's Liv McDaniel with cat-like reflexes to make the save. Here we see Kadag creating a pocket of space, and the shot very well taken, but it's matched up with an even better save by Liv McDaniel. So Liv McDaniel doing it all in the 2025 PFF Women's League. She scored last week, and now she's keeping her team ahead. Corner is sent in, very deep, met by Hailey Long, back inside. Alforque over. Two chances in quick succession for Kaya, but none taken, and it's still 1-0 to Stallion. Tense moments here at the MOA Field of Dreams in this championship decider between these two teams. Liv McDaniel quite smartly just opting not to play out from the back but just to go long, get her team up the pitch. If there's a goalkeeper you want in these scenarios, it's definitely Liv McDaniel. Just knows how to slow things down by a few seconds and get her team towards 90 minutes. Very physical play here between the two teams. Kadag trying to combine with Cisneros, but it's cleared by Kayla McDaniel. Long. This will reach Mendaño, but it's called offside by the referee. So that's a good defensive line by Stallion. Just under 70 minutes now and over 20 minutes to play. If it stays like this, again, I'll repeat, if it stays like this, then Stallion will be our champions. They have 20 minutes to make sure of that. Meanwhile, Kaya have over 20 minutes just about to respond. And again, I did mention, if it ends as a tie, then no champion will be crowned tonight. But it will favor Kaya slightly. Because if Kaya tie this game, they need to win next week. But Stallion don't have the same privilege because this is their last game for the whole season. Here's Hailey Long clearing it. Kaya just need to regain a little bit more composure because they've just been stunned the past 5 minutes. Oh, and Castles will get to this. Hailey Long, it's actually called offside. So Hailey Long knew that nothing was going to come from that. Again, for those of you who missed it, the goal came 6 minutes ago at the 63rd minute from team captain Chandler McDaniel. It was a very smart goal, taking the ball around the goalkeeper and slotting it into an empty net. And saw how big that goal is for Stallion. Their entire bench just erupted in celebration. And rightly so, because that could be a championship clinching goal. Demoran looking for Castles. Fontamilla smartly heading it back to Palacios. They need their experienced players now to step up, Kaya, because this is quite the situation to find themselves in. Again, Kaya are the defending champions of this league, and they could lose that crown tonight if they don't do anything about it. Here's Cisneros, nearly finding Mendaño in behind, but again, once again, it's Kayla McDaniel with good defensive positioning. Here's Balakua. Do have to say, Stallion have a lead, but it's a very, very slim lead because, again, a draw would favor Kaya still. So their championship aspirations hang on the edge of a balance. Here, we have 20 minutes left. Liv McDaniel will claim that with no problem, and this will just help Stallion a little bit, slow the game down and allow the team to move up the pitch. Again, this would be Kaya FC Iloilo's second defeat if nothing changes. So to lose a league title while only having 2 defeats is very, very harsh, but that's how close this title race is. Here's Passion. Smart switch out wide to Castles. Castles up against Fontamillas, going outside, looking for the cross. Hailey Long meets the cross this time. Follow-up cross was not as clean, and it's back with Kaya. Here's Tolentine. Tolentine going long, in behind looking for Mendaño, but it's met yet again by Kayla McDaniel, who's done that all evening. Lemoran. Ball just bouncing between both sides before Kayla McDaniel finally gives it back to Liv McDaniel. Hawkinson. Pass in between the lines to Lemoran. Lemoran losing out the duel eventually to Kadag, so it's back with Kaya. Do wonder if Coach Yoshida is wondering about making more substitutions for Kaya, because as things stand, something needs to change from the Iloilo base team. And there you have another error from Kaya. Any error at this point It's more costly than usual because of the situation of this game. Acceleration here from Chan. Out wide to Serdon. Up against Cuenco. Serdon loses out this duel. And the ball will return to Kaya. Here's Kadag. Beating Lemoran. Finding Alforque. Will she keep this in? Out. And the ball will return to Stallion. Moment of respite here for the two teams, because it's been a quite crazy second half. And up on top of all that, I think the referees actually called a cooling break, so this will provide opportunity for either side to regroup. For Stallion, their coaching staff will be happier than the two. For Kaya, it's going to be a desperate team talk, because if nothing changes, as I keep mentioning, it's going to be Stallion who will be crowned the league winners. Again, do have to wonder if Kaya will make any substitutions. Same actually for Stallion. Do wonder if they're going to replace any tired legs out there. Again, this has been a quite long season for both teams, so there are going to be tired legs on either side. Again, we saw a double round robin format for this league, and as we approach the end of that format, it's a very even standing between these two teams on the table. But Stallion, should they win tonight, will have the lead, which will be just too far to reach for Kaya. And here we do see the substitutions coming in for Kaya, so roll of the dice from Coach Yoshide. Let's see if they pay off. Cuenco going long, looking for Camrod. Calls for handball, not given. And then calls for a foul on Kale McDaniel, also not given, so it's back with Kaya. Cisneros going for the shot, blocked by Hawkinson. It's going to be a corner to Kaya after all that, but they thought they should have more there. Really loud claims of handball. Going to be sent in by Mendaño. Mendaño with the cross. It's met by Haley Long. It will go out for goal kick. So Stallion FC Laguna escape yet another Kaya set piece, and that's what you want if you're a Stallion fan.
Player number 22, Joyce Rubia. Player number 26, Johnny Panguilias, replaced by player number 7, Danilo Rodriguez. And player number 17, Armand Balado, replaced by player number 3, Christine Huyaza.
And there you have confirmation. There have been a flurry of substitutions for Kaya. On Rubia, Rodriguez, and Hulieza on for Kaya. And they have 15 minutes, and slightly less in truth, to make a very big impact on this title race. Lemoran looking for Serdon, who's back on the left. There's the confirmation of the substitutions. It's Kadag off for Onrubia. Camrod on for Janly Fontamillas. And finally, we also see the last substitution, which is Juliesa on for Balacua. "77 minutes now, so time is very quickly running out for Kaya. They want to defend their title and win back-to-back championships. Cannot lose tonight. Before the game started, Kaya would have wanted to win, but from this situation, you do say they will take a draw, because if this match ends in a tie, it favors Kaya, as they can still leapfrog Stallion next week. But Stallion don't play any more games for the rest of the league because tonight is their last game. Foul there called against Stallion, so it's going to be another set piece for Kaya. And there's going to be a yellow card actually shown by the referee to Kaya Hawkinson. So this is Stallion's third yellow card and their second in the second half, and it goes to their midfielder. This is a big chance for Kaya because it's a set piece in a dangerous area of the pitch. Stallion will only have one defender in the wall, so do have to say, if you're Kaya, this delivery has to be spot on. Not much obstacles in the delivery in the first place. So it's sent in, met by Liv McDaniel, and Liv McDaniel not just punching that clear, but also winning a foul in the process. So that's very, very crucial for Stallion. She might actually be hurt after that situation, but body on the line for Liv McDaniel. Here's a replay. She gets the punch and she was barged into by, I think that's Cisneros of Kaya. So referee doing well to spot that free kick there. Better angle to see the foul. If you're Stallion FC Laguna, you do hope that Liv McDaniel is okay after that, because she's been very good, not just in this game but throughout the whole league. So any injury to their first choice goalkeeper will be very costly. Of course, when a goalkeeper is injured, like in this scenario, the referee has to stop the game because the game can't continue. And Liv McDaniel has a lot of words for the referee. Again, if Liv McDaniel were to have gotten injured there, that would have been a big problem for Stallion. But it looks like she'll be okay. And it looks like there won't have to be any emergency substitutions for Stallion. Of course, if Stallion do win this league, you do have to think back to Liv McDaniel's goal last weekend against Makati. The sole goal of that match, which kept Stallion in the driver's seat for the title race, which they could very well win tonight. If nothing changes in the next 10 minutes plus stoppage time, they will win the title. Castañeda, pinalik kay Long. Long finding a forward. Kaya just have to waste less time now and get the ball forward quicker, and that might mean that it won't be as pretty as usual, but needs must at this point. Cisneros flick that on. Here's Camrod, through on goal. Camrod, oh, and it's a weak effort in the end by Camrod. That's going to be no problem for a goalkeeper like Liv McDaniel. What a chance there for Kaya. Again, Kaya just need one goal and they'll be back in control of the title race. Stallions lead, very slim lead. And yeah, as I said, Kaya just need a goal and they'll be back in control of the title race. Easier said than done, of course, and there'll be a substitution actually before play continues. Nervous moments here in the last 10 minutes. Substitution is from Stallion. It's Jenna Merrill off for Amita Analu. So defensive-minded change by Stallion. Amita has been put on to seal the deal and to close out this matchup. Then on the other hand, we also have a Kaya change. It's Humphreys on for Mendaño.
Substitution for Stallion Laguna FC, player number 22, Jananero, replaced by player number 27.
There's confirmation of the Stallion change.
Substitution for
Again, a defensive change meant to seal the lead and protect the clean sheet. Then here we have the Kaya change. It's an attacking change in opposite regard. Humphreys on for Mendaño. Here's Camrod. Good defending once again by Kaylee McDaniel. Another corner to Kaya. Well, any goal now will be a very, very, very dramatic goal. Tolentine will be the one to take this corner. It has to be perfect if you're Kaya. Sent in by Tolentine. Met by a Kaya player, but it's wide. That was Humphreys actually. Her first touch after coming off the bench. Actually, a very big chance there for Humphreys. You do wonder if she was just a little bit cold, since that was her first involvement after being a substitute for the 80 or so minutes. And Liv McDaniel will take no risks and just go long with this goal kick. Here's Cisneros. Cisneros looking for a teammate in the middle, but it's blocked by Amita, who goes back to Liv McDaniel. And once again, Liv McDaniel just going long. No nonsense. Physical duel here in midfield. Ball back to Kaya. Tolentine. And Amita for the second time making a defensive contribution already, because that's what she was put on to do. Just over 5 minutes now until we see the full time. Chance maybe here for Kaya. It's Camrod. And amid all of that, there's no foul called by the referee. Alforque going back to Castañeda. Castañeda going long. Will that be offside? Believe the referee put up the flag. No, it's a goal kick. So another possession surrendered by Kaya, and that's another crucial win, really, for Stallion, because every time they win back possession, they have to count it as small wins. Such is the nature of this matchup. There's only 5 minutes left now. And we actually see a Stallion player down. That's Limaran. So she'll need a bit of treatment. Looking like a little bit of cramps. As I said, this has been a long season. So there are some tired legs out there. And we're seeing some of that here. Limaran will have to step out for a bit. So Stallion will have to play with only 10 players on the field for a few moments. And if you're Kaya, you need to take advantage of that while you have a player advantage. Even if it's just for a few moments, you have to make it count. Because I've also seen that Stallion are readying an emergency substitution after that Limaran injury. So there's going to be a play or maybe two where Kaya have an extra player. They need to take advantage of it, because there's not a lot of time left. To be fair to Stallion, they've actually readied their substitution already, but just awaiting confirmation if the referee is actually going to allow it to happen already, or if they need to wait for the next play. And it has been allowed, so Stallion have made the substitution. They will not play with the player less for a few moments. It's Yanzi Yalong on for Limaran. Pasion. That's going to be a free kick in favor of Stallion. That's a very, very crucial free kick that will just eat up a few more seconds. Pasion using her body well up against a more physical Castañeda, but she wins the duel in the end. Here's Chandler McDaniel, the goal scorer, and as of now, the league winner. And they're going to keep this in the corner flag, or try to at least, but Stallion losing possession there, so it's back with Kaya. Chance for Kaya to build something. Here's Camrod, infield, and here's Cuenco out wide. They have to do it now if they're going to do anything, but that pass is just too weak, and it's tracked by Castles. Fountain. Pass was looking for Sordon, but it was wayward. See in your picture there, Shrocky on the touchline of Stallion, just telling his team to stay composed and to keep the mentality. They're just a few minutes away now from the title. Long with the long throw in. It's been allowed by the referee. Here's Camrod in behind. Heavy touch. And a very good challenge by Kayla McDaniel. Not just because she stopped the attack, but because she also wins a goal kick after that. Here we see that tackle again. Well timed by Kayla McDaniel. Very physical, but she did get the ball first. And I think because of that tackle, she's actually just picked up a little knock, so she will need some treatment from the bench. We'll get confirmation in a few moments how much stoppage time will be added on. But Stallion FC Laguna, so close to their first PFF Women's League title. Kayla McDaniel has been vital for Stallion Laguna tonight. That is why do not want to see that she's injured if you're Stallion. And it's looking like she'll actually exit the field, so that is not a promising sign if you're Stallion FC Laguna, because it might mean you need another emergency substitution and you're losing one of your reliable center backs in that case. So it's again not good if you're Stallion. They need to survive now for the rest of the game without their key center back.
Additional time, 8 minutes.
There you have confirmation from the fourth official. We will see 8 additional minutes, so there's still a lot of time for something to happen if you're Kaya and if you're Stallion. 8 minutes away from the title if you're Stallion, and 8 minutes away to get a draw if you're Kaya. And that's an obvious foul by Chandler McDaniel, but at this point of the match, I don't think she'll care if she's booked. As it stands, she is going to be the game winner and by default the league winner. But 7 minutes for Kaya to do something about that. Ball sent in, met by Kaylee McDaniel, who's back on the pitch, so that's a crucial. There's a heavy foul there on a Stallion defender, or by a Stallion defender rather, on Castañeda. There's a yellow card for Amita, the substitute. As I was saying, crucial for Stallion that Kayla McDaniel is back on the pitch, but here was the foul late by Amita on Castañeda. Clear foul, no contestation about it. Castañeda is still down. Just over 6 minutes now. Again, Kaya just need one goal if they want to regain control of the championship race. But if they are unable to score, it's going to be Stallion who will lift the trophy. We'll just confirm if the referee has given a new yellow card there, or if he's just confirming the yellow card that he already gave to Amita. If this is a set piece from Kaya, it has to be perfect. It will be Tolentine to take. needs to hit the target, or the target players rather. Tolentine puts it in. This is a very high one, and it clips the crossbar, but yes, I believe it clipped the crossbar. I thought for a moment that it was actually a save, but no, it's a goal kick. Nervous moments there if you're a Stallion fan, but they survive yet again. Again, if this match ends this way, Stallion win the title. If this match ends in a draw, then Kaya will play next week to win the title. But Stallion, this is their last game already. That's a foul on Kayla McDaniel, so that's another few seconds eaten up. And Liv McDaniel will be in no rush to take this. Again, Liv McDaniel has been in this situation before. We do know that she was a crucial piece in that 1-0 victory over New Zealand a couple of years ago, and it was a similar situation to this, so she knows all about defending 1-goal leads for a crucial win. Again, as I was saying, a draw would favor Kaya, but they would need to win next week against Makati. So a draw would also still keep Stallion ahead in the league table, but then they would need to rely on Makati to not lose next week. With the way things are going, though, you do have to say Stallion doing really well just to slow the game down and eat up seconds. It's not pretty, but it's what you have to do if you want to win the league. And they are so close to doing that here. Just under 4 minutes now to do that, and they have a throw-in on the other side of the field, which is what you want. And they're going to keep the ball at the corner flag. This is exactly what they need to do. It's, as I said, not pretty, but what you need to do if you want to be a league champion. Eventually, Kaya work it out of that row, and it's back with Kaya. Momentarily, back with Chandler McDaniel now. Here's Fountain. Oh, and there's a chance here for Sir Dawn. Momentarily, she was through on goal, but she just opted to take a step back. And that was a shot, but quite far away in truth. So, possession will return to Kaya. Castles picking up the loose ball, but loses it out. Here's Cisneros. Foul by Amita, and Amita is already on a yellow card, so she has to be careful here. Last thing you want to do is receive a red card and make your team defend the rest of this matchup with only 10 players, but fortunately for Amita's sake, it's looking like no foul was, or no card would be shown from that foul. Nevertheless, it's going to be a Kaya set piece in a promising position. It will be Castañeda to take this. It has to be a good delivery. They cannot accept anything else now. Castañeda with the ball in. Met by a Kaya player. It's 1-all. Wow. It is 1-all, and all of a sudden, the championship slips away from Stallion's grasp, and it's 1-all to Kaya FC Iloilo. Will celebrate like they've just scored the winning goal, because in effect, they take control of the championship race again. It was Cisneros, the league's top goal scorer, adding the most important goal of her tally yet. What a delivery! And Cisneros, what a glancing header towards the back post. Well, I was saying the delivery had to be perfect from Castañeda, and was perfect there. And the header was so nifty and so clever, and Kaya once again will take control of the title race. Now, if this match ends in a 1-all draw, the league title will not be decided tonight. It will be decided next Saturday when Kaya play Makati. Kaya need to win that match, and Stallion have to hope that Makati at least draw that match, because in this scenario, Kaya will be 2 points behind Stallion. So Stallion will stay ahead of ahead of Kaya in the table, but with a game extra, Kaya have their destiny in their own hands. They need to win next week if they are to be league champions. But what a massive goal from Cisneros. I said both teams wanted to win, especially Kaya, but given the way the second half went, they'll probably take a draw at this point. Chance may be here for Sudan. It's not done yet. And the touch looking for Chandler McDaniel was just loose. Kaya they're going to go for the win here. Cisneros. Strong challenge by Kaylee McDaniel, but it wins. She won the ball there. So play continues. Here's Tolentine. Tolentine step over. Early cross looking for a teammate, but it is gathered by Liv McDaniel. So no championship tonight. It ends 1-1 here at the MOA Field of Dreams. No champions yet, but Kaya will have control of their own destiny. I actually see the trophy to my side being put back in the locker room because it's 1-1 between Kaya FC Iloilo and Stallion FC Laguna. Now Stallion are still ahead on the table, but they will not play next week. Meanwhile, Kaya will. So Kaya need to win their match next week against Makati FC. Stallion need to hope that Makati hold on for at least a draw. It will go down to the last match day. I'm out of words, in truth. What a match between the two teams. It was a pretty even and in truth stale first half, but the second half was something else altogether. Here are the highlights of that matchup. So here we see the second half action. Here was the goal from Chandler McDaniel that nearly won the title tonight for Stallion, but not quite. Very expertly taken by the team captain, going around Ina Palacios. And if Stallion held on, that goal would have been the title winning goal. But Kaya fought back, and they pressed and they kept knocking on the door until eventually Stallion just blinked and allowed Kaya to regain control of the title race. Here is another big chance from Tolentine. She hit the crossbar there. Here's the goal by Cisneros. It's the lightest of touches. Glancing header. The cross from Arietta was perfect, and you see how Kaya celebrated that goal. So they didn't win tonight, but now they have destiny in control. They control what happens next week because they are going to be playing Makati FC in the last matchup of the 2025 PFF Women's League. Kaya need to win that match. It's quite simple actually now. The permutation is simple. Kaya need to win that match because if they draw or lose, the title is Stallions. Be sure to tune in to that matchup. Again, you can watch that match here on the PFF Women's League Facebook page, or if you want to see the championship deciding match in person, you can buy tickets here on venue, again here at the MOA Field of Dreams. That match will be next Saturday. Here we see the stats of this nearly championship deciding match. It was Kaya who had the dominating attacking output. 15 shots to Stallions 4, 10 on target to Stallions 2, 6 corners to Stallions 2, and Stallion picking up 3 yellow cards, one of them going to a member of the coaching staff. So there you have it. That sums up today's match week. Earlier today, we also saw Makati FC beating Capital 1 2-1. And that concludes today's game day. Again, next week, we will see confirmation of who are the champions after Kaya take on Makati FC. It's 7 p.m. on Saturday, June 21. Again, I've been your commentator for today, Diego Cordero. Thank you for tuning in to this extraordinarily entertaining showdown between Stallion and Kaya. And do tune in next week. Thank you and good night.